Hey, this is Lawrence Tan. This is video 2, and we are establishing your why. What does a why mean? It's not like the cartoon Super Why. A why is, what are you really doing? Some of you work for a living, some of you don't work for a living, some of you are retired, some of you are still in school. That's fantastic, but where do you want to be? Why are you doing what you're doing? If you're in school, when I went to school for engineering, for mechanical engineering at the University of Texas at Austin, the reason I went to school is to get a job. That was the goal. Now, if you take your process and figure out why you're doing something, kind of figure out, are you really going to being where you want to be? So here's an example. My why was I wanted to be happy. It's kind of generic. I get it. So what makes me happy? Being able to stay at home, right? Having a family and having kids, having a happy life, going on vacations, having a house. Okay, how am I going to get there? To get there, well, my why is to getting there, I need money. Well, where's one way to get money? My parents, all my relatives, my brothers, my brother, my sister, get an education. So to get money, I needed an education. But to get education, you need to get good grades to get into a good college. That was the reason of my process. And a lot of you are there too. You know, get a good education, go to a trade school, get a degree to get a job. That was the why to getting where I wanted to be, just being happy. And happy has a lot of different things, right? So, but to be more specific, where do you want to be, but why is it? Like, what are you doing today to achieving your why? And your why is happiness. How are you getting there? What are you doing to do that? You going to work every single day, is that building towards your why? Now, if your why is to be happy at home and being able to go on vacation anytime you want to and sip a cup of coffee at 9 a.m. when you wake up versus at 5:30 in the morning, is your job going to get you there? Like, if you work your job for 10 hours a day for 40 years, how long will it take you? 40 years to get to your why? But if you say you enjoy your job, maybe you're a teacher and your why is just to educate the masses, then you're fulfilling your goal. That's your why. But for me, going into engineering was just a stepping stone to retiring. Why do I have to wait till I'm 65, right? And most of us know, most of us seen this. People go into retirement and they actually have less money than they need to actually retiring, so they actually decrease their standard of living, right? Because you can't afford living in the same house, the same lavish lifestyle, because 76%, I believe, Forbes came out with a CNN Money, both of those websites said the average person in America, the majority of the people, 76% of the people are living paycheck to paycheck. So their why is to get out of paycheck to paycheck, but they can't even see far enough to see where's your happiness. They know where their unhappiness is. Their unhappiness is basically I don't want to actually die and leave my kids nothing, or go into a retirement home that is deplorable, it's horrendous because I can't afford a nice one, or I can't afford an in-house nanny. So figure out where your why is, where you're going, and what you're doing today. Is it getting you to where you want to be, right? So one of the things I really wanted to do was be able to have my kids have an education, a good education, paid for. Well, you can't really do that with 3 kids as an engineer. I mean, you're talking anywhere from $100,000 to $200,000 per child in about 15 years, right? With the way college tuition is being, it's improportionate to anything else. It's crazy, right? So I'm thinking I need to set aside anywhere from, let's say, $200,000 to $600,000 for my kids to go to college, and I did that by setting aside money, but it wasn't enough. So I started tinkering on the internet, right? Selling books, selling Amazon products, selling ClickBank products, selling my own products, to getting that supplemental income to paying for my kids' education, so that when they go to school, they have no college debt. That to me is one of my whys, right? So figure out what your whys are. Actually write them down. We can go over it. So my whys, a very generic one is to be happy. A more specific one is to have all 3 kids have a funded college education, so they don't have college burden, college debt coming out, because it's hard enough living paycheck to paycheck and then having a huge student loan. So my name is Lawrence Tan. This is video 2. See you on video 3 on the next page. See you.